The Usual Suspects 1995 is one of the greatest crime thrillers of all time, known for its shocking twist ending and unforgettable characters. But behind the mystery and deception lies a production filled with strange stories, improvisations, and unexpected accidents. Today, we'll uncover weird facts about The Usual Suspects that will forever change the way you watch this iconic film. The infamous lineup scene wasn't serious at all. The lineup scene is one of the movie's most iconic moments, but it wasn't supposed to be funny. Director Bryan Singer wanted it played straight, but the cast couldn't stop laughing. Benicio Del Toro kept farting, Kevin Spacey cracked jokes, and everyone broke character. After hours of failed takes, Singer gave up and decided to use the laughter-filled version. Surprisingly, it became one of the most memorable and beloved scenes in the film. What was meant to be intense police tension ended up being improvised comedy, and it worked perfectly, adding a strange but unforgettable charm to the movie. Kevin Spacey's limp came from real inspiration. Kevin Spacey, who played the mysterious Verbal Kint, created his character's limp after consulting with medical experts about cerebral palsy and physical disabilities. He wanted it to be authentic, but not exaggerated. He even kept his foot taped in a specific way during filming to maintain the limp consistently. This dedication not only impressed director Bryan Singer, but also helped sell Verbal's harmless persona. What's truly weird is that the limp was partly improvised on set, and the cast didn't fully know how Spacey planned to portray it until filming began, making the performance even more convincing. The film's twist ending was almost different. The shocking twist that Verbal Kint was actually Keyser Söze all along wasn't always the plan. Early drafts considered alternate endings, including the possibility that Söze was never revealed at all, keeping him a total mystery. But Bryan Singer and writer Christopher McQuarrie decided the reveal would give the story its unforgettable punch. This decision was risky, as they worried it might feel too cheap, but test audiences were blown away. Today, it's considered one of cinema's greatest twist endings, proving that sometimes taking risks with storytelling can pay off in legendary fashion. Benicio Del Toro made his character unintelligible. Benicio Del Toro, who played Fenster, decided on his own that the character should be nearly impossible to understand. He intentionally mumbled all of his lines, creating a strange and unique performance that confused the cast and crew. Some of his co-stars couldn't even tell what he was saying until they saw the finished film. Director Bryan Singer was initially frustrated, but eventually embraced the idea, realizing it added mystery and comedy to the character. Del Toro's weird choice ended up being one of the most memorable parts of the movie, showing how improvisation can shape film history. The title came from a newspaper headline. The title, The Usual Suspects, wasn't just a catchy phrase, it came directly from the famous line in Casablanca, where Captain Renault tells his men to round up the usual suspects. But writer Christopher McQuarrie didn't pull it from the film itself. He first saw the phrase in a real-life newspaper headline. He loved the idea of using it for a crime story about criminals constantly under suspicion. The title gave the movie instant familiarity, connecting it to Hollywood history while also creating intrigue for audiences. It's a weird but fitting origin for such a legendary title. The script was written for a friend's amusement. Christopher McQuarrie originally wrote The Usual Suspects as a short story for a friend. He never imagined it would become a full-length film, let alone an Oscar-winning masterpiece. The short was based on the idea of a group of criminals thrown together, and a mysterious mastermind pulling the strings. Bryan Singer convinced McQuarrie to expand it into a feature-length script, and the rest is history. It's strange to think that one of the greatest crime films of all time began as a casual writing exercise just for fun. Sometimes, the weirdest beginnings lead to iconic endings. Kevin Spacey was cast after a fact. Kevin Spacey's casting as Verbal Kint happened in a bizarre way. Director Bryan Singer faxed Spacey the script along with a note saying, "You are Keyser Söze." Spacey was intrigued and signed on almost immediately. What's weird is that Singer revealed the twist, ending to Spacey before he even officially agreed to the role, something rarely done in Hollywood. This early reveal allowed Spacey to craft his performance with the twist in mind from the very beginning, helping create one of cinema's most shocking and unforgettable character portrayals. The whole film was shot in just 35 days. Despite its complexity and legendary status, The Usual Suspects was filmed in just 35 days. On a modest budget of $6 million, Bryan Singer kept the schedule tight, forcing the actors to stay in character and focus on their roles intensely. What's even weirder is how much improvisation made it into the film, despite such a strict timeline. The laughter-filled lineup scene, Del Toro's mumbles, and other unscripted moments all survived editing. For a movie with one of the most famous twist endings in history, it's incredible to think it was made so quickly. The poster was designed before the script was finished. The now iconic poster, showing the lineup of criminals, was actually created before the script was fully completed. Bryan Singer used it as a pitch tool to help sell the idea to studios and investors. The striking image of mysterious men in a police lineup became the central visual identity of the film, even before filming began. This unusual method worked, convincing producers that the project had potential. It's a weird reversal of the normal process, where posters are usually designed after filming wraps, not before the story is even locked. Keyser Söze was inspired by a real criminal. The mysterious Keyser Söze wasn't completely made up. Christopher McQuarrie based the character partly on a real Turkish criminal who was infamous for his ruthless tactics. The legend of Söze was also influenced by urban myths and crime folklore that McQuarrie had heard growing up. By blending truth with fiction, the writers created one of the most terrifying and mysterious villains in cinema history. What's weird is that Keyser Söze's identity has become so legendary that some fans forget he wasn't based entirely in reality, but rather a chilling mix of fact and imagination.